I noticed something as I was just thinking about them. Every woman I ever stayed with for a long period of time submitted to me in some shape, form, or fashion. And the more I think of it, every woman that stayed with me, like in a relationship for more than a 12-month period, and I'm even lopping in Candy on this one for real. Because seriously, Candy's the youngest woman that stayed with me for a 12-month period. Like, period. Like, and me breaking it down to a full 12 months consecutively, you know, no months off in between, like each month, from like, you know, from the first fuck of that month to each month following prior, we fucked each month. Each one of them 12 months, we fucked at least 2 or 3 times a month. Candy's, I think right now Candy's the only younger woman I've been with that stayed with me. Yeah, for real. Like, for real, for a whole 12 months straight in a row. Okay. And in case y'all ain't familiar, Candy came between Sunshine and Wildebeest. Okay. I really don't mention or say much about Candy. But in this video, I got to start, real talk, off top, with Candy. Being she was the youngest female that spent 12 months back to back to back putting up with my black ass. And I got to say it like that because Candy caught me in my worst condition any woman could have been fucking me in. Okay, period. At the time I was with Candy, I was in my worst emotional state ever. To this very day, she caught me at a time where my heart was so just told the fuck out the front. I was really fucked up. After the whole Sunshine ordeal, my heart was out of whack. And I was like, I was really fucked up emotionally. And she endured 12 months of me in a real fucked up emotional state. And I was also halfway fucking mental. I really felt like I lost my whole grip on reality, the world, and shit and everything because of the shit that went down right before she started laying down next to me. And real talk, for 12 months, that girl really stayed by my side. She took my mouth being reckless and wild. And no bullshit, she fired back too. There was times my shit was out of pocket, like way out of pocket. And, you know, she didn't just take verbal abuse. She stood up for herself. She spoke up for herself. She wasn't a doormat. She would buck up and tell me I need to check that shit. And real talk, she submitted to me in many ways. She didn't just submit her body to me, but she submitted her heart to me. There was times she even opened up her mind. And yo, real talk, Candy had a beautiful mind. She just don't share with anybody. She had a beautiful heart. She don't just open it up to any and everybody. I know because of the shit I've been through with her. She didn't just throw it in my lap. Her head nor her heart. And that pussy she did. But she was feeling me before she was really fucking me. She had peeped a nigga out before she threw the nigga something. Okay? when she finally decided to let me into her gates, she was already submitting to me because she had liked what the fuck she saw, what the fuck she heard. She liked how I carried it. And I ain't gonna lie, I was in a fucked up state, no bullshit. If I'm not mistaken, she was like a year or two younger than me. Maybe 3 at the most, if I'm remembering correctly. But she saw a diamond in the rough, and she tried her best to get all the dirt and grime off of it and start polishing it. At that time, we became, after being lovers, after freaking off, shacking up, bullshitting around, we became good friends. She got a better understanding of herself. And by submitting herself to my flames, she was able to walk away from me a better woman than when she laid down with me. And I say that because the last time I got to see her and talk to her, the way things went, I can't say shit else. Like real talk, the way we said our farewells. I said farewell to a more mature, respectable young lady than what I originally laid down with. Don't ask me how the fuck I did it. Don't ask me. All I know is the last 3 days we talked and interacted with each other was far better and greater than the first 3 days we ever saw and spoke to each other. And with that said, because like real talk, I really can't go no further than what been said thus far, because I'm going to be real about it. At that time, I was really fucked up. But by the time she peeled off from me, I felt better. And that's all I can say. I was kind of glad she helped me get through my rough patch. I can't explain how the fuck she did it. All I know is that that woman sat next to me for 12 months. Whether it was a room I was renting, whether we was in a tent, whether we was in a hotel, whether we was doing what the fuck ever. All I know is that she traveled with me. She lived with me. She talked to, with me. She listened to and with me. We grew up a great deal in a short period of time. Both of us became more prepared to move to the next stage of our life. I wouldn't mind seeing that again. But if I don't, she'll always have a little spot in my heart. Because when my heart had to rebuild, and this is before the wildebeest, she actually did put in a lot of time and effort. And some super glue. And she tried her best to help me piece the heart together. And she ended up out of the deal with a good friend. Man, I got the husband she wanted, but she got a good friend. I ended up with a good friend. Good looking friend at that, too. Candy won't ugly. Candy won't ugly. So I ended up with a good looking friend. I ain't gonna bullshit you, Candy won't ugly. I got to see her in her true natural form. She was nothing ugly. If you don't like the plus size women, don't look at her. It's that simple. She was full figured and fully woman. And I got to fully enjoy her beauty. Not just her body, but the beauty she had in her heart, the beauty of her mind, and the beauty of her spirit. I really did enjoy the time I had with her in hindsight more than I did at the time. But I do appreciate how she allowed me to pull it back together, I should say. So by the time the wildebeest came around and started sitting on a nigga, you know, grating at the young girl like, he mine, man. Shit. I shouldn't even have said that. I remember. Shit. Oh, shit. Give me a second, y'all. Right now. I said that out and I opened the floodgate of flashbacks. Shit. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. But real talk. Since I went ahead and moved into the next one. I can't believe that's the same chick that's gonna tell me I became her favorite preacher. She liked the way I preach, and I won't even try to preach. But Candy took the brunt of it. And she got me to tone it down. Candy really caught a lot of heat off of me from Sunshine. She helped me get past most of that heat. And I think I could say she really brought that fire down to where it's safe to cook on. And then Gail came with grocery bags and we started having cookouts. I'm sorry, y'all. It's fucking with me because, like, the imagery in itself, the imagery is what's really fucking with me because it's so clear and it's so close to accurate without going through the long rundown of details. But real talk, with that opening, Gail submitted to my structure when I thought I had no structure. Gail started to settle into a system when I thought I had no system. Gail started to fall under my order at a time I thought I was nothing but chaos. And Gail submitted herself and her time to me. And the way that she did so, it took me out of herb hound and brought me back to just being a man. When I wasn't yelling, I'm not the husband, okay? I'm not the husband. You know, I ain't had to do those little spazzing fits, you know. She had a good man to hang with. She had a good man entertaining her. And helping her through them last few years of dealing with teenagers. Keeping the stress to a minimum and the good times rolling. But she did submit herself to me. Now, I do have to roll back to before Candy to get to Sunshine. And real talk, believe it or not, Sunshine even submitted to me. And, you know, I thought I was being overly passive just to keep her around me. But she saw a diamond in the rough. she went to work to try and get her a big old diamond out the rough. And she put in a lot of work. Yeah. Even though I was a simp most of the time. Those times when I chose not to be a simp. I chose to stand as a man. She submitted to me. She stood as my woman beside me. She brought the best man that I could be out of me before I even realized that he was within me. And then she hauled ass from that nigga. She pulled out a little bit more than she bargained for. And also, she made it very clear I needed someone to grow with. But before she even got to that point, she had submitted to me. I wasn't always in charge, and I wasn't always following orders. But the three I done covered so far, all three were partnerships. I was never, ever anyone's little pet nigga. Never one of them was ever my little playthings. Each one, I treated them as a person. They respected me as a person. Now, of course, we gotta get into Bonita. Yeah, she's stubborn as fuck. But most of the years we were together, she knew when to be submissive. And that's why we had so much more success than the previous situations. That's why we spent so much more time together. When I say it was good for us, she didn't argue with it. She didn't question it. When I asked her what do she think is best for us, she gave her intuition and her insight. When we had to make decisions as one, we both contribute to the process. Sometimes we argue about it. Sometimes we silent treat each other to death. But at the end of the day, every bit of our success came from us having equal shares into the situation. I did what a man's supposed to do. She's done what a woman's supposed to do. Be respectful of their partner and considerate of their partner. I submitted to the guidelines of discipline. So did she. Well, like she really submitted to me. She submitted more so to the guidelines of discipline. And she could see where I was submitting to them as well. And we flowed smoothly in that shit. She wanted a man to stand in a leadership role. I asked her what the fuck she mean by that. You want to elaborate. And we had our conversations to get understanding of where each one of us stood. And we worked out something to where I stood as the man she wanted to lead her. And I kept whispering on my shoulder, which way we going next? The whole time I'm leading. You know, you sure we should go this way? Yeah. We walk together. And y'all crazy shit. Crazy ass Shirley. We still talking. They won't consider that relationship. She still submits to common sense when she approaches me. Yeah, that's my angel. We ain't really, it don't really count as a romantic relationship. It don't. It don't. I mean, it really, there's not a romance. There's a platonic relationship. And we respect each other's boundaries and limitations. We're more concerned about keeping clear communication in the friendship there. That's enough said. She submitted to what I wanted. Point blank. I submitted to what she needed. Every now and then she needs somebody to laugh and joke with. Shit. Every now and then I need to hear a woman's voice. Smile and giggle. And she be throwing in some pearls in there too. Sometimes she actually answer a question without diverting you. But yo, real talk. That's my angel. She cool. She cool. Like, real talk. She cool. I only throw her in the mix because we fully merged each other's boundaries and limitations. That's why we comfortable as fuck in the friend zone. She's my angel. I go through all of this just to give a heads up to any woman that want to sleep with me. You cannot tell me you want my body, but you're not going to submit to the guidelines of discipline that I submit to. Like, I believe in God of the history of our learning years, basic instructions before leaving Earth. That character described as Elohim in that book, in that literary context. Yo, you can't submit to that though. From the Genesis to the Revelations and all the laws in the first 5 books and how they could clarify and explain how you get to go by them. Hey, don't even ask me for sex. Shit. I've been out in the wild trying to bring in more sheep into the flock. I'm not going to go out in the wild and just be stuck with some little nymph in the wilderness. When I'm finished playing with the nymph, that little nymph, and it's time for me to go back and report to the kingdom. She bringing her ass with me. I'm not going to stay out in the wilderness, just fulfilling her desires, and not go back in when it's time to report it. I'm trying to bring them back to the flock. If I stay gone from the flock too long, they going to send somebody to find out what the fuck's keeping me. And I don't think you want to fight with the cavalry. So I'm just a scout. We'll find out real quick if the God you serve is the same God as the one I serve. If you gotta send a couple of angels to come pull me out the wilderness because I'm too wrapped up in the nymph, we gonna find out real quick when they find me. If you serve the same God they serve. Real fast. Come on now. They ain't send no angels out after me in a long ass time. Shit. Them niggas gonna be mad as fuck when they come out. I just got used to not having to do this and now they got me coming. Boy, you better stay on that path. I was having a good time. Not having to hunt you down. Not having to bring you back on in. Shit, you wrestle with them angels, and they don't fuck up your head? Oh, once I get you back to the flock, I'm gonna check that hip hop for sure. I'm gonna let you know now. Shit. You can wrestle them and now throw your hip hop and keep me in the wilderness. Oh shit. Why they got you distracted? I'm gonna start hauling ass. You take out one, I'm going on the second one. By the time you get them done, you going to come get me. Shit. You don't want no call it no reinforcements. Shit, I made it very clear who I decided to serve. Shit, I only serve one master. You can't distract me from working for that nigga. Shit. I'm only here because I made that pledge. Just because I made that alliance. Just because I allied myself with that faction. It's the only reason why I'm allowed to go around doing what I do when I do what I do. If I ain't putting in work for him, I get to enjoy my free time. I get to enjoy my free time. Shit. I think I'm going to give up my favorite hobby. Only thing I can really enjoy besides music and computers. This is the only thing naturally that don't require any man-made things. This is what keeps me in tune with my natural and my spiritual. I'm supposed to get this up. They be lost in the wilderness. Shit. I tell you, man, some people say these things to see how you react to it. See if you take it, see if you go along with it, see if you tell them going off with that bullshit. You know, people will tell you any goddamn thing. But when you listen twice, then you only gotta say it once. I hear you want me. But according to the history of our learning years, basic inscriptions before leaving Earth, Jesus got to be my head. And you want me to be with you? You need to get your head together and understand where my head is focused and going. It can't divert from that purpose, that mission I was given. Period. You know, my priority ain't gonna change. Whoever I lay next to may change. But what I'm going to do with me, myself, and I in this world is never going to change. I made my decision. Whether I get kids or not, there's things I must do while I walk amongst the living. I can't have nothing preventing me or distracting me from that purpose I must walk in. I'm fighting it hard enough by my damn self. I know what I gotta do. It ain't easy. Don't nobody else wanna fucking do it. Shit, that's why I feel like somebody gotta do it, and ain't nobody else gonna do it. Now if I can do it, I'm gonna get it done. That's just it. There's a lot of issues in today's world that need to be resolved. Like addiction. Okay? Whether it's drug addiction, food addiction, video game addiction, sexual addiction, addiction to money. A lot of things people can be addicted to. People can even be addicted to their jobs. There's some people that be in jobs like 2-3 decades. I think that's just good being responsible, though. Until it's time to get a retirement, then they got to start facing, you might be addicted to that shit you've been doing all them decades. Especially when you don't want to retire and you be having all these emotional issues because there's no way of getting out of having to retire. You know? Having a job is an addiction. Anything you put first before what God said you're supposed to do, before that purpose God put in you, when your job, sex, drugs, and food prevent you from being what God put you here to be, that's when it becomes sin. When the clothes you got to wear, and the house you got to live in, the car you got to drive, be more important than serving the Lord. With that money you could have spent on something that'll cover your body and cover 5-10 more bodies. Cause I got the bus pass and got the more places to help more people than always getting that gas money and whipping it real hard. Sometimes, being in the shelter, you can help other people than being hidden in your own luxurious prison. I want to make these points clear. You can be addicted to the way of this world. And in your little free time, you done serving your other master, you can claim you believe in the creator of the universe and have time to do some filthy rags for him. Just want to make myself clear. The way I see it, the way I feel about it. They honor him with their mouths. I honor him with my life. Peace.